We're good.
All right, good evening, everyone. I call this meeting of Hamtramck City Council to order. Today is March 26, 2024, and it's 6:05. Would the clerk call the rules, please?
Councilman Rafai?
Present.
Councilman Musa?
Present.
Councilman Sedman?
Here.
Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yeah, present.
Councilman Hassan?
Present.
Councilman Mahmoud is not here. Ms. Gregory here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please rise to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Do we have any community announcements?
There was one on there, but my Wi-Fi is stuck.
Yeah, mine is slow as well.
Okay, I just got it. You want me to do it?
Yeah, please.
Just disappeared.
Anyone you guys got the Wi-Fi?
I don't get it.
Mine as well. But how do I go to the announcements?
Just click on the community announcements, Mayor. It should
All
pop
right.
up.
I got it.
See, can you go?
Okay, so
We have probably no internet.
It's
Slow or something.
I went to my hotspot and it's still doing it.
That means it's the website, board docs, because my internet is working, it's the board docs that's taking place.
okay, so the announcement is about the Hamtramck Clean Sweep. Volunteers may request a certificate of participation to show our save. That would be on April 20th, 2024. There's a code to register. Register ahead of time to select and meet obligations. Supplies will be provided by sponsors. It's sponsored by City of Hamtramck and the Hamtramck Beautification Commission. So that's Hamtramck Clean Sweep on April 20th. There's no time on the flyer
To be announced.
to be announced. Okay. All right, so that's the only announcements we have. We'll move to the proclamations, recognitions, and presentations, and we have the first one, Proclamation Arab American Heritage Month. Anna, you want to read that?
Yes.
Please.
I will have to read it. It's not coming up on the TV. City of Hamtramck, proclamation in recognition of Arab American Heritage Month. Whereas April is recognized as Arab American Heritage Month, celebrating the rich cultural contributions and diverse heritage of Arab Americans in the United States. And whereas Arab Americans have played a significant role in the shaping of cultural, economic, and social fabric of our nation, contributing to various fields including art, literature, science, business, politics, and beyond. And whereas Arab Americans have made invaluable contributions to the cultural mosaic of our society, enriching our communities with their traditions, language, cuisine, music, dance, and customs. And whereas Arab American Heritage Month provides an opportunity to honor and recognize the achievements, resilience, and diversity of Arab Americans, highlighting their positive impact on American society and their enduring commitment to the principles of equality, justice, and democracy. And whereas the City of Hamtramck is home to a vibrant Arab American community whose members have made significant contributions to the city's cultural heritage, economic vitality, and civic engagement. And whereas Arab American Heritage Month serves as a reminder of the importance of embracing diversity, fostering inclusion, and promoting understanding and appreciation of all cultures within our society. Therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of Hamtramck hereby recognizes and celebrates April as Arab American Heritage Month, honoring the contributions and achievements of Arab Americans and reaffirming the city's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and cultural appreciation.
Thank you. Next one is proclamation, autism awareness and acceptance.
I'll read that. You have it open?
Yeah, I got it. City of Hamtramck, proclamation and recognition of Autism Awareness Month. Whereas autism is a complex developmental condition characterized by challenges in social interaction, communication, and behavior, affecting individuals differently and presenting unique strengths and abilities. Whereas according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, approximately 1 in 54 children in the United States is diagnosed with autism, making it one of the fastest growing developmental disorders in the country. Whereas individuals with autism contribute valuable perspectives, talents, and diversity to our community, and promoting understanding and acceptance, fostering a more inclusive and supportive environment for all residents. Whereas organizations, advocates, educators, healthcare professionals, and families work tirelessly to promote autism awareness, acceptance, and inclusion, advocating for access to education, employment, and healthcare, and community support services for individuals with autism. Whereas the City Council recognizes the importance of supporting initiatives and programs that promote autism acceptance, understanding, and inclusion in Hamtramck and beyond. Therefore, be resolved that the City Council of Hamtramck hereby recognizes April as Autism Awareness Month and reaffirms its commitment to raising awareness, promoting acceptance, and fostering inclusiveness for individuals with autism within the community. Be it further resolved that the City Council encourages residents to participate in activities, events, and initiatives that promote autism awareness, understanding, and inclusion throughout the month of April and beyond, ensuring that individuals with autism are valued, supported, and included in all aspects of the community life. Amir Galib, Mayor of Hamtramck, March 2024.
Thank you. The third and last one is Hamtramck High School Prevention Committee. You have a presentation for that?
Students were supposed to be here today.
Do they know that the
You
timing?
know what? Maybe that's what it is. Can we adjust it once we come in? Is that fine?
We can.
Plus, another thing is, for some reason, I don't know what's wrong with our computers, but I'm not able to broadcast what I have on my computer because that's what comes up for some reason. If you don't mind, can I take a minute to do something with my computer and
Yeah, fine.
just for a moment?
Is it still live?
I'm connecting to the
Okay.
live.
I was going to say switch to public comments. But
Yeah,
it's
hold
not
on.
broadcasting.
Let me see, I think I got it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice Mahmoud, Councilman, you just walked in? A few minutes ago? Okay.
6:08, yeah.
Thank you. It's not going through. Worst case scenario, would I be able to connect your? All right, I'll play with it while you guys continue. That's fine.
All right.
We're not stopping.
Just keep rolling.
Yeah, just keep going.
All right, so do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if I could humbly ask the council to remove G. There was an error on our part. We're going to have to take it before the Planning Commission before we bring it back to you.
All right.
I need a motion and a.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No objections?
Say again another thing. I spoke with the day, we need to add the resolution for the vacant lot, to move the ordinance for the vacant lot to leave the building vacant.
He wants to add a discussion item regarding the vacant lots.
Yes.
So, we want to do a motion to add that to the end. Or that's what exactly, because we don't have anything ready for that other than to discuss it. So if you guys want to discuss it.
Do it next meeting, maybe?
We need to move the vacant lot for the ordinance. Would save just only the building vacant lot.
Okay, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
so here on behalf of Mr. Councilman Sumari, he like to add one of the resolution item for discussion.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so vacant lot,
Yeah, it's the same way when we have before.
So his contention is he wants to revert it back, and then he also mentioned a couple other ones.
Well-
So, but that's for the discussion.
So
That's
we
for
can
discussion.
have, we can have a second, and then we can discuss if you're gonna have the discussion. I know you said next meeting, so I need a second, and then you can discuss before you
Second.
approve it.
second,
Also, thank you.
so easy in agenda now, that's all.
So now you can discuss if you want to have a
No,
discussion.
no,
so we added the last one.
To the agenda, if you wanna add it to the agenda, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
cannot discuss now.
So it's gonna be
To-
in the
It is a discussion at the end of new business.
End of new business.
Yeah.
So P.
Yep.
We'll remove that, that's fine, so. All right,
I,
Did you vote on it?
you guys have to either discuss it or vote on it.
well, we'll discuss it when we get there.
No, if you're gonna discuss, if you're gonna approve adding a discussion to new business.
No,
We voted to add it to the new business, to
But
be,
you had a first and a second, nobody, you guys didn't vote
well,
on it.
all in favor, right?
all for,
That's what I was
So
waiting
no
for.
objections, and then
Okay.
we'll discuss when we get there.
Okay.
All right, so, no more additions or deletions?
We're good.
All right, so we move to the public comment now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have Abdul Malik Qasim. 3 minutes.
Can you push the button, please, on the mic? Just push the button, please. Thank you.
Honorable Mayor, respected City Council members, Assalamu alaikum. This is a great opportunity to say Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah accept our prayers, our fasting, and our good deeds. This is also a great opportunity to say that we appreciate everything you have done for our city and our community in a whole. I was notified that you have an item in the agenda for discussion that is related to giving a tax break or exemption to building new homes or homeowners. This is a great opportunity actually for investors to come in. It's a new attraction to our city. And I fully support that exemption for a few years or given a break for a few years. In the long run, everybody is winning. Bring investors, bring a new attraction to our city. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yusuf Abdullah?
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody. Well, I actually have the same problem. I've been here, like, I think twice before. Actually 3 times. Third time was downstairs. Same thing. We got property, vacant lot. We built a house on it, and taxes is a lot. They're charging a lot of taxes. 75% done. They want almost $12,000 from me. I don't even have that money. That was not even ready yet, and they want $12,000 from me. So I'm afraid when it's 100% done, how much would it be? So that's the other thing too. And we have the economy, so we decided to build a big house so we can all live together in the same house. But I don't have $12,000 or even $15,000 to pay for that house as a taxes every year. So that's my only problem. So we need help with that, either tax rate for a couple of years, or deduct it down a little bit, or something. We need to work something out because I don't have that money. I work for AutoZone as a full time. I probably make about 25 to 26,000 a year. I don't even have that much money. I already came here before, spoke with you. I think I already spoke with city manager before. I think we already called over the phone. I came here 2 times before, and I don't see any change. So that's what we need for the taxes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Finish building up the house, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk.
We'll see, inshallah.
Abraham Abdullah?
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I came here and I spoke to the city managers for the same situation. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My house is too old. It's like 100 years old. What I did, I built 2 rooms in the back and 1 living room and a bathroom upstairs. My taxes went super crazy, like from 1,800 to 6,500. City managers, he did take care of me last year. He dropped the price from 6,500 to 5,000, but still high, from 1,800 to 5,000. So this year, I have a lot of this side. My taxes are gonna be increased to $144 again. So I don't know what we have to do, to be honest with you. Like it's too much. From 1,800 to 6,500 to 5,000. It's still a lot of money. Like the house next to me, he only pay like 1,000. The house as a front of me, he pay 800. I know I make addition. I know I make mistake. I should to come here ask how much the taxes will be, but that's my fault. That's my mistake. Like me and my wife, me and my family, we were talking about like the issue they will do. They will just double your taxes. Just from 1,800, they will say just another 1,800. This is what we were expecting. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I know it will be that much, we will not even gonna fix one window. We're not even gonna do nothing to the house. Like all the money we got from here, my wife, she sold her land back home in Yemen. For us, we could just live a better life here in America. I'm not gonna lie to you. We didn't even have that. So I have 5 kids. Me and my wife is 7. We decided to build 3 more rooms. And we really need some help. Thank you so much, and you guys have a nice day.
Thank you. Philip Quick?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Philip Quick. I live at 11391 Lumpkin Street. Last week on social media, there were several posts about parking on Joseph Campo in front of Veterans Memorial Park. One of the posts even had an image which would suggest that any parking spaces, any new parking spaces, would cut into some of the frontage of the park, several thousand square feet as far as I can estimate. I'm sure that council members are familiar with the city ordinances and with the city charter, in particular the chapter 16 of the charter called Streets, Parks, Trees, and Sidewalks. In particular, section 1603 says, when the city shall deem it advisable to vacate, discontinue, or abolish any park or any part thereof, it shall require 3/5 vote of the electorate voting on the proposal. The issue shall be voted on no later than the next general election. So I'd like to just say that one more time. When the city shall deem it advisable to vacate, discontinue, or abolish any part of any park, it shall require a 3/5 vote of the people. I also wanted to remind the Council of Ordinance 154 of the city, which was passed in 1996 by a citizens' referendum and gathered nearly 70% of the vote. The ordinance further protects Hamtramck parks by requiring a 3/5 vote if you do any new building on parks. So if the council wants to pursue a plan that cuts into parkland, that's certainly your right. That's your authority as city council. However, according to the charter, section 16, this body would have to put any kind of a plan like that to a vote at the next general election. In this case, it would be in November of 2024. And that question would have to be approved by 60% of the voters. And I believe that the city attorney would concur with that reading of the charter. It's pretty straightforward. In my personal opinion, no plan that takes away any parkland from the city, from the residents of the city, will ever be passed by voters, certainly by 60%. And I would suggest that instead of creating more parking for a handful of customers and a handful of businesses, that the city council should actually work to preserve all of our parkland in Hamtramck. Thank you.
Thank you. Abdul Dagana?
Assalamu alaikum everyone in this room, and happy Ramadan and happy days to all. I'm here to give my support to the resolution that was proposed by Mr. Khalil Rifai in regard to building new homes and easy the property tax. This will encourage people to renovate houses that need to be renovated and to build new homes and to make our city clean and recognized. So I hope you guys approve that resolution, and this will benefit the city and residential. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Bill Meyer? Pass. Okay. Gamal Turkey.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum Ramadan Kareem. Good afternoon guys, how you doing? My name is Jamal Turkey, I'm citizen Hamtramck since 2004. And I think we done about the property tax. I serve in the board of the review. I have seen the most of the people, they complain about this issue. And we always recommended them to come to here to talk with you. So we thank Mr. Khalil for this proposal. And we ask you to do any effort to pass this law and make it like compliance with Michigan state law. Thank you.
Thank you. Tawfiq Al-Gahim.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I'm here today to talk about the new houses in the city. As a businessman, I want to talk about it. Most of the income for the city is from the property, from the resident. So maybe like 80% or 99%. We don't have no factories, we don't have no big businesses. So why not, if we let people to build houses, after maybe 5 or whatever you decide, 10 years, they're gonna pay the amount you're gonna save. This is gonna be a big benefit for the city, I believe, and we're gonna increase the income. That's all, what I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fahad Nasser.
Comment?
Fahad Nasser.
Yes.
Yeah, actually Fahd, I'm with
No,
him, I'm sorry.
I know, but
But he would talk about different issue.
what are you to him? Why are you standing
He
up
asked
with
me
him?
to like translate. Yeah.
He'll speak it in Arabic, and then the mayor will translate for him.
السلام عليكم. جيتوا عندي ظلم يعني من شان الهانديكاب، عندي هانديكاب بالباب وسويت وانا معي ورقه من الدكتور مريض وكل الناس يجوا يبرركوا بالهانديكاب حقي. كل ما اجي اشتكي ما حدا مصدق.
So he's complaining about
he's the one who paid the cost of the
I
sign.
understand the situation. So he has a handicap sign in front of his house. Other people with handicap signs in their cars, they use his handicap while he's the one who pays for it. So I spoke to Max about your issue last time when I saw you. And then we are discussing the new proposal to fix the ordinance that we have now regarding this, to make it, to give you the right to park without others can invade your property.
We have a few tweaks we have to make to it. We have to adjust it.
So in 2 weeks.
Especially he's paying yearly fee.
Yeah, so now the available law does not prevent anyone with a handicap sign to park anywhere. But we are about to fix it. We are working together. Okay, so احنا شغالين على نصلحه ونخليه يكون خاص بك. اللي يدفع يكون خاص بك. اوكي بس ان شاء الله خلال اسبوعين ثلاثة.
Thank you.
Thank you. Inez Garfield.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm here to talk about the graffiti issue in the back of the businesses. And it's a consistent problem that I'm getting ordinances, I'm getting tickets, I have it doesn't stop, it's every single week. I've already put up electrical equipment with cameras, with motion light detectors. It's costing me a fortune, it's still not working. So basically I'm asking the city to help me. I mean, I'm as a company, as a property owner and business person, there's so much I can do. And I don't see the city helping at all. I've already did, obviously, police reports. Doesn't work. They even ripped down the cameras. So it's a problem. And I'm hoping the city can help. And I'm not the only one. I know that whole block, starting from at least by the PNC block dollar store, all the way down. So that's one problem. Also, I heard that they're doing some kind of a construction on Kniff in Joseph Campo with water. Well, it blew out 2 of the businesses' pipes, which caused flooding. So one of the buildings were my company's building. The other one was Best Deals Furniture. That's another problem. So I don't know what they're doing, but it is affecting the actual structure of the buildings. These are brand new pipes though that were put in, so it has nothing to do with frozen pipes. But again, they should be aware of what they're doing when it comes to their, whatever they're doing for repairing. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll communicate with her and
Thank you, Inez. Nasser Hussain?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm here to support the plan of Councilman Khalil Rafai for the NDDs. Just one notice, I noticed that the districts, the proposed districts are very wide and contain a lot of already built houses. I think we should concentrate on the spots where you have vacant plots. Like, I think the minimum is 10 parcels. So you could check for the city, there's like 10 parcels, but like say 5 vacant, and you choose it. Instead of one big area, you just pinpoint the places where you have the vacant plots and choose these things. The parking meters, it's been 3 years. I have never seen a report how much money the city is making, how much money you're losing, how much money. We just issuing checks to this company. I think it's your responsibility to ask for a report. How much money do we make at this house? And also you don't have to wait 2 years till the contract expires. So you can now negotiate with them. Tell them in 2 years if you don't reach a solution, we'll cancel the contract. I think they would like to maintain beyond these 2 years. And I had the idea of making it everybody parks and then you send them a bill to their house instead of tickets. You park this month for such and such time, pay us this time. They might agree to it. The vacant lots, I think you should suspend the program. From the time it started, I think it's not the right thing. You could be facing a lawsuit, charging people money just for having a vacant lot. So suspend it, and if you charge them through the water bills. It's not fair that everybody pays the water and they have vacant lots, they don't pay any water bills, and the money goes to repair, and once they decide to build, they get the benefits without paying the cost. And this will be much more than the vacant fees you're charging, and it's more reasonable to charge it. All part of the system, they have to pay for the water repairs because they're going to benefit from it eventually. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it Hasnat Khan? Hasnat? Right? Is that a Z?
I think.
Mr. Khan?
Yes. Chief Financial
What's your first name?
Hasnat.
Hasnat.
The parking meter revenue. I saw it in the.
Sorry, this is my first time here.
Yep, you have 3 minutes to speak on any topic you'd like. But they're speaking over you, so just give them a minute.
I have a letter prepared that details the whole incident, so can I pass it out to everybody right now or afterward?
Ask the mayor.
Just everybody here at the panel.
Public comment?
Thank you. Anybody else I should pass it to?
I'll take one, then if you can give one to the city manager.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All right, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members and the staff. My name is Hasnat Khan and I live in Warren. I lived in the city here before, but currently live in Warren. I'm here to bring attention to an incident that happened on February 21st at midnight. It was initially it started at the city hall, but the incident occurred in front of Nimuzina restaurant. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. It involves my brother and MD Shabul and 2 community groups. What happened was incident, I guess they were booing each other at the city hall during the cultural event, and then MD Shabul was saying he was screaming and yelling and cursing at people. which later he went to New Medina, and some of the people found out that he was there. And apparently they went over there, trying to confront him. And then some of the community members, they informed my brother that, hey, some of the people that were with you and some of the other people from the opposition, they were over there fighting. You need to go do something. So he went over there, tried to stop the fight, and then he was able to calm the situation down. But right then, the cops were already called because there was a lot of shouting, arguing happened prior to that. And cops were already there, and that's when MD Shabul turned his attention toward my brother, and he started being really aggressive and cursing. And my brother went near him. I don't know how close he was, but within the proximity where he can hit him. He told him, everyone is gone, now you're doing too much. His intent was, why are you still talking? This thing is escalated, let's go home. But right when he couldn't even finish his sentence, and he was hit in the head with the metal cane, which caused a laceration, and we have video footage of that, and even one of the police officer's statement clearly says that. He had 5 staples and a concussion from that. And the next morning we found out that the attacker, which is MD Shabul Hussein, he was released, which didn't make any sense because there was no statement taken for my brother, and he was the main victim. There was no proper investigation, he was just released. We came to the police station. At first, we didn't get no information at all. Later, we came at 3 in the morning. They gave us the detective name and the case number and everything. We called the detective the next morning. He was saying the prosecutor's office denied it. So we still don't know why, and we're still waiting. We submitted appeal to review the case and reopen it. Nothing is happening. It's been a month. We don't know what's going on. We just want justice, because if this is how things get dismissed without any proper cause, then this questions the whole justice system. Like, if this is happening to somebody who's well known, what if it happened to somebody who nobody knows? What's going to happen?
Thank you.
Sir, Tony, what is the situation?
So it's in the hands right now, in my knowledge, to my knowledge, it's in the hands of the Wayne County prosecutors, and I don't want to put words in their mouth or anything, but from what I understand, it's been reported in the news that they have a very, very large backlog of cases. So what that means is it takes quite a bit of time for them to review cases and to make a decision. Even if it's open and shut case, I've seen it last up to a year even before they have pressed charges. I don't know why they dismissed it originally or what the facts of that. I have nothing to do with it. But what I do know is that Wayne County has an extreme backlog, and unless it's a crime, sort of like murder or something like that, where they need to take immediate action, they put it on at the end of the list, and it takes forever.
Well, I could add to, even if it is a murder, I mean, they have people in custody for murder sitting in Wayne County Jail for a year at a time. So, I mean, that should tell you something. So, I mean, this could sit down there for a long time.
Yeah, I just assumed about murder.
The police department, I mean, investigated this. We spoke to every gentleman in this room at length for weeks on end. We took all the evidence. Our police department did investigate it thoroughly. All the evidence is at the prosecutor's office. I mean, we did everything. We took all the witness statements, all the evidence, everything is down there. There is nothing else we can do. I mean, the police department's hands are completely tied at this point. We are frankly at the mercy of the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office at this point. There is completely out of our hands.
Mr. Chair,
So.
I have to say a few words because I heard something.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so my community members.
We do have to suspend the rules.
I'm sorry. I'd like to suspend the.
Yes. That was my fault. I should have done it earlier.
Yeah, right. So the thing is here, case note, after convicted person, assaulted person came to the city hall, have a written sign, give the petition, that investigation is still under investigation. Case not dismissed yet. Case did not open yet. Okay, so according to the attorney speech what I realize, Wayne County Prosecutor Office little behind. City manager already spoke to the Wayne County Prosecutor Office. Okay, so they're little behind. This case not dismissed. Okay, the first incident, the convicted person was released, like attorney said, very clear. I don't know how first incident was happened dismissed, but the second application after sign, this is the American law. If you sign any paper against anybody, and that something will start. So because Wayne County prosecutor is working on it, okay, so some of the point you guys have to talk to the Wayne County prosecutor also, and there is our attorney and strongly, very neutral, working on it. Okay, and city manager also.
If I may speak? Yeah. Okay, so.
Well, the mayor has to give you.
Mayor has to say.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute.
My thing was, it shouldn't never have been dismissed to begin with, because they never took his statement, right? So there is foul play going on there. I don't know how all this works, but there's something wrong there, right? And then if they knew this is gonna take that long, obviously, okay, if it takes a year for something to reopen, that's a whole lot of waste of time. It's not gonna get nowhere, right? And then I spoke to State Attorney General. What they advised me was they advised me that there is nothing they can do at this point. It has to go to the proper chain of command. Like, city, if the city has an investigation department, it has to go through that. Then the state sheriff, then it has to go through. So anyway, they said it has to go through everything. We even told them that, hey, we were thinking about going through the news channel, but we're not gonna do that. We want the city to take care of it and go from there. But we've been getting a whole bunch of runaround, and that's why I'm here today. Because we
Thank you.
even to get just simple case number, it took us 3 days.
Time is up.
Okay, so I will, this will take forever, the discussion, we're not gonna go nowhere. So I think you should coordinate or communicate with the city manager, and he will coordinate with the attorney, and we will see where there's something missing there, where the problem is, and why was it dismissed. So that, and we will follow up with that too.
Mr. Chair, it's not dismissed, again and again, it's not dismissed.
No, I understand it's under review right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all of your time.
No problem, thank you.
Sorry, I hope I wasn't
No,
disrespectful.
not a problem at all.
Tell the rules again. You wanna say something quick?
No, the whole community was here for this incident. Community has got the message from City of Hamtramck. Maybe they're not safe anymore in the City of Hamtramck. This is a bad example we are leaving behind.
Well, it's not, it was a single incident.
How come the first time they're gonna release some victims?
Yeah, I'm talking about the incident that happened. This is single incident that happened in a particular time due to political tension behind the scene. So we will follow up with the city manager and the police and see what's going on.
Continue. Tosef? Hussein? Tosef?
Joseph?
No, Tausif? Tosef? Tosef Hussein? No? Okay, Saleh Al-Masmari? 3 minutes.
How's everybody doing? Great. We just have to complain about the property taxes in Hamtramck. I've been living in Hamtramck for almost 30 years. We're trying to keep Hamtramck alive. We're trying to keep Hamtramck the best city in like any cities in Michigan. Really the taxes, the property taxes in Hamtramck is not, it's too crazy, to be honest with you guys. The value of the houses is not worth it. So there is in the price every year, $200, $300 every year. If you move to any city in Michigan, they don't pay that kind of money. They have 2 acres, 3 acres. You pay like $3,000, $4,000. You're talking about 3 acres, 4 acres. The house worth $1 million, $2 million. Why I'm gonna pay taxes $3,000, $4,000 in Hamtramck? I can just move outside and live in somewhere else and pay it. Why I'm gonna live in Hamtramck? It's not good services in Hamtramck. They didn't do a right job in Hamtramck. A lot of violations for no reason. Really, it's a lot of people, they complaining about the residents in Hamtramck, they complaining a lot. And we're not trying to move from Hamtramck, we're trying to stay in Hamtramck. We're trying to keep Hamtramck alive. But we have to work together. It's not only, I'm gonna keep complaining about the city of Hamtramck or the city of Hamtramck complaining about the residents. It doesn't make sense. We have to work together, put our hands together, trying to make Hamtramck the best, like any cities. We're not asking about to make Hamtramck the best cities in Michigan. It's like any cities. We like to get the services like in Durban. Look at Durban, how they doing, how the service is doing. And the driveway and everywhere you go, they have good services. Like in Hamtramck, nothing. So please, we're trying to work together. The property taxes in Hamtramck is not worth it. We're trying to work it out, trying to lower the prices for the city of Hamtramck, so the residents, they can stay in Hamtramck. We don't want to leave Hamtramck and leave it empty. If we want to move it out, how are we going to make a city of Hamtramck live? So please, work together. We don't want to be like talking and then tomorrow we just disappear. There is no solution. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that 200, 300 is from the state that came, it's 5% from the state, not from Hamtramck. That it's increasing 150, 200, that's 5% from the state. It's not from the city, it's in every city. But the problem with us that we exaggerate in paying the prices of houses. You buy a house for 250 and it's not worth 100,000. That's where the problem is. That would increase the value of the houses in Hamtramck, and they are very old houses, small houses. You come, you pay 250,000, and you expect the tax to stay 20 years ago when the house was 40,000. I'm one of the victims. I just bought a house and my tax increased 3 times. I wish there's a way to decrease that, but it's a big problem. We're trying to find a solution. We're working with the assessor office, with the city manager to try to not to exaggerate in giving values to the houses. Make it reasonable value.
Amir Ghalib, I agree with you, Mayor, but if you go to the different cities...
Same problem. I was just talking to the mayor of Durban and the mayor of Durban Heights the other day. They had the same issue. You just don't hear the complaints of those residents.
No, I'm talking about the projects. I'm talking about the houses. How is the condition of the houses?
That's what I'm saying.
It's better than Hamtramck. Here, it's 150,000 years. The houses...
Dr. Khalid and Ms. Mary, his first year tax was 50,000 in there. Excuse me.
Suspend the rules, yeah.
Was 50,000, okay? It was when he moved to Durban, he paid the first year $50,000. Is that reasonable? And he has a meeting with the Durban mayor, they decreased that to 35,000. So that's another example of how crazy it is in other cities. It's not only in Hamtramck. So I appreciate your feedback. We're doing our best. I wish we can decrease it to 1,000.
Well, I'm not arguing or something, but I'm saying we can work together.
Yeah,
we can put our hands and work together to get a solution for the residents. That's what I'm talking about.
We're trying our best. So thank you.
I don't want you to just ignore.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Thank
Bill
you.
Meyer?
Yes, hello. Councilor Mayor, Bill Meyer from Hamtramck. I just want to make a couple of suggestions that might help what's going on here. One is, it'd be nice if there was some paper written to explain to residents how taxes work in relation to values of houses, so they understand when they buy houses or when real estate offices like to overprice things and not tell them that taxes are going to be so high and then they get in all of a sudden. This should all be told to new buyers, to people who are ready to buy, so they don't run into this kind of a problem. This is terrible what's happening, but it's a problem, like you say, across the country. Gentrification is happening everywhere. It's happening here. And then people have to understand how this works. People are making lots of money and some people aren't. So it'd be nice if there was some paper, some website on our site that we could put to explain to people in all languages. That would be helpful. Just a couple small things. 15 years ago, we might have spent $20,000 to fix the sound system in here. And just a few months ago, we tried to fix it again for I don't know how much, but it's not working, folks. I mean, we can't hear some people talking up here. It's
The mic red?
The mic's green.
Yeah, green, I mean.
And we used to have a mic stand here that put it into the speaker's mouth, which
That's
really helped. So we can't hear the speakers. I'm talking loud, I'm sure they can hear me, but some of them, we had no idea what they were talking about. And this is very important. We want to hear what people are saying, because then we don't have to say the same thing. The other thing is, I think when new people come in, like the young man who's from Warren who didn't know the rules, maybe you should put a sign on the door that says speaking rules, like you have 3 minutes, and then you can ask for an extra minute. He didn't even know he could ask for an extra minute. That would have been nice if he knew that. So it'd be very simple, put one paper on the wall to explain it. And the other thing is this thing about suspending rules. I mean, we talked for months about rules of council rules. And as far as I remember, you are allowed 10 minutes to respond to, up to 10 minutes to respond to somebody who speaks here. Check the rules again. I know what this suspension of rules means.
I agree. You're allowed to have communication.
you are allowed
You
to
don't
have
have to
input,
suspend
yes.
the rule every time.
Well, there's no time rules.
Yeah, you don't have to suspend no rules, as far as I know, but our attorney should check into that. Anyways, I'm here primarily to support the Resolution 2024-26 and award the contract to our new chief of police, who I'm very excited. I met him the other day, and it's going to make a major change in the city. I'm very excited to have him here, and I support it totally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, since the conversation back and forth, I want a permission now. Okay. So I'm speaking right now.
Is this in response to him, or are you
Yep,
making
all
a
in general,
report?
yeah, response to him. So, because of we made the Charter very clear law, when the people speak, we have to listen. When we have a time, we can answer that question. If individually, correspondence back and forth, is not going to finish the council meeting. That's why we have the law. There is no 10 minutes nowhere. Second, the housing, there is the little bit issue. One of the gentlemen already spoke. My house 6,500, side by side house is 800. So there is the problem. Some of the house, I agree, Mr. Mayor, he buy the 200,000 that house. Some of the house little bit repair the value, assessor raising up the value like a crazy. We're not talking that. We have to talk about that one. And one time I brought my election agenda, equal opportunity and do the equal marketing value for all the houses. Why somebody 500, I have to 5,500. That's why my proposal was from the long time. So all those discussion have to understand, yes, we did buy the house, lot of prices we don't understand, we got a tax, that's why we have the tax review board. Less income can give the little break, cannot violate the Michigan state law. We can have to follow it. But there's a maximum houses, raising the house marketing price is crazy. This is the assessor board responsible for that. He cannot do like that crazy, like today 60,000, tomorrow 180,000. No, that is the one everybody have to know. And all elected official also has to understand that it cannot be like that. We have to step ahead to save this citizen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, we are done with,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
we are done with public comment, okay? But before we go into anything else, we didn't vote on approval of the amended agenda. We added and subtracted things from the agenda, but we have to vote on approving the amended agenda before we do any votes. So can we go ahead and do that, please?
I'd like to offer the amended agenda bring to the council.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I just wanted to offer a clarification and response. So basically, when there's a discussion between an elected official and the public commenter, the time should remain going. So, and then you suspend the rules if the time goes above the time or they ask another additional minute. Once they're done, elected officials can respond, but it's not a discussion anymore.
They should actually sit down.
They should sit down.
Before,
Exactly.
yeah, before council
Yeah.
speaks on it.
Correct.
All right, so before we move to the consent agenda, I agree with Councilman Hassan. I spoke multiple times to the city manager that, yes, the value of the houses is crazy in Hamtramck, but those houses do not worth that much. It's like 100 years old houses. do not look at how much I pay, because we are obligated to pay that much because of the competition. There's less offer, too much demand. People come from out of the state, they offer cash money, and that's what's raising the price of the houses. So I remember the assessor told us whether you pay 1,000 or $1 million, we don't care. We go with our own assessment, which is true. So be reasonable when you assess the houses. Don't ask me how much I pay, because I was forced to pay that much because I couldn't find a house elsewhere. So be reasonable. This house is 100 years old, or somebody extended the house with 2 rooms or something. Make it reasonable. We don't want to punish our residents, and it's true. You can't receive the same services like your neighbor, but he's paying $1,500 and you pay $6,500. That doesn't make no sense. We have to find a solution for that, and hopefully after we work with the new resolution that Councilman Rafai proposed for the new houses, the new developments, we can come up to the transfer of ownership that increase the price of the houses. We need to do something regarding that and make it, reasonable for people to sell and buy houses. Otherwise, they will leave the city. So, thank you. We done with the public comments, and we move to the consent agenda. And this is approved in a single motion with no discussion. We have A, approval of minutes from the March 5th, 2024 regular city council meeting. B, approval of invoice register date ending March 26, 2024. C, approval of pre-approved expenditure date ending March 26, 2024. D, resolution 2024-25 approving appointment to board and commissions.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No objections? All right, do we have the
No.
appointed member?
That's on.
Okay. All right, so we move to the new businesses. Hopefully we can go through this quick. We have the first one, resolution 2024-26, approval of contract with Jamil Al-Tahiri to serve as the Hamtramck Chief of Police.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Mayor, we negotiated in good faith with the incoming chief. We reached what I think is a fair contract. Nothing crazy about this. The one standout is, though, that we did give him a 4-month separation if he is indeed let go. The only reason we did that is because of the distance he is moving. We thought it would be adequate. If he was locally, we would not do that, but since he is moving from New York, we thought it was fair to give him 4 months. Other than that, mostly all boilerplate.
All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman.
I don't have the Jamil Al-Tahiri here today, but we trust our manager. So you and Jamil Al-Tahiri, this contract, he agree with that and everything smooth?
He does, yep, he's happy with it.
That's all, he happy, we happy.
Yeah, I met him yesterday, he was here in Hamtramck. He looked at the contract and he's happy with that. There are no issues. All right, any further discussion?
No, sir. No.
Let's vote on that one.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Sidman,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-26 approved.
Thank you. Next one is resolution 2024-27 approving 2023-24 third quarter budget amendment.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Mayor, I do have our controller here, but in the interest of brevity, it is pretty much on track. It is pretty much routine. The only standout is that we did do a lot of alleys that you guys are well aware of, that are standouts on there. But Amir is here if you had any questions. I would hope that we would just move along.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I have a
Councilman.
question for our
Amir, if you would.
Mr. CFO. The tradition is always amending. It's our previous tradition, I don't know why. So some of the amendments sometimes go good, some of the amendments sometimes go the bad. So what you think this amendment, your opinion? Anywhere you see the bad thing?
I think as far as the revenues are concerned, last year when we did the budget, I probably overestimated the property income tax revenue, so I've reduced that. and we did not include the jail pilot revenue. So I included that in it, that kind of offset. And then the other, we have a higher interest income this year. It's much higher than what we used to have in the previous years. So that kind of offset the loss in, or lower revenue in the income tax side. As far as the expenses are concerned, you have minor adjustments in different departments. You know, in some, there are, like, for example, in police, we have a lot more overtime. So there is adjustment there, and then in some other areas, you know, there is adjustment for professional services or some other services.
Okay, so predicting revenue, you lose, how much you lost?
We didn't lose any revenue. We actually, because we increased, we also had revenue increases as well. So overall, it was a net differential.
The prediction was the personal income tax will come so high. It was the 3 or 4 years behind some of that time. It's a good thing adjustment. So you know now from there. Some of the time, one of the gentlemen spoke about the parking meter revenue. You have in front of you something right now, or you can say?
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but generally we are making about 25,000-30,000 per month.
Less than that.
No, more than what we are paying. So we are netting the city about 25 to 30,000 every month.
Revenue we are getting.
We are getting.
So answer we got that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing we have to be careful. Sometimes we did the previous budget prediction, ticket money. All those things we need to be careful with. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
If you don't mind, can I request that you always post monthly with the meter revenue and all that stuff like it used to be before?
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Councilman, we were actually working on the mayor was working on a presentation that he sent me a draft just today on this. The mayor had requested at the last meeting, but as you know, Amir was out of town and then he was sick still for a few days, so we couldn't get it in time for this meeting, else we would have. And plus, this meeting was already brutally long, so hopefully the next meeting we can have a presentation.
Can you just quickly explain the big difference between, for the retiree costs between last year and this year? How did that happen? Like it's saying, used to be 5.9 million. This year's activity, 3 million.
This year is 3 million so far.
Only for
you know, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's only so far. This thing is you know, is going to catch up to about 6 million because that's a very standard expense every month. It's almost like 500 to 600,000 every month.
Thank you. I looked at the audit report. It looks good to me. So
yeah, Alhamdulillah, the audit went well. In fact, 2 updates. We just filed the single audit. Also, it's due 31st of March. So the auditors filed that today. So that is also done. In addition to that, another major event that we had was we converted our chart of accounts from to the Michigan Uniform Chart of Accounts. So finally, we have been able to complete that activity. That was a major activity that got completed. So some of our GL numbers got switched around based on what was the requirement of the state. So now we are fully compliant with the state requirement as far as the chart of accounts is concerned.
Mr. Chairman, I need only a short question. Okay, as of today, all the payments up to date. We are not behind anything. March payment or any payment.
Well, the payments have been there. There may be a slight lag in recording some of the expenses because as we are reconciling the bank accounts, that's when we end up recording all of them. But as far as the payments, major payments are concerned, they are pretty much on track.
Can you speak to us in front of the public about our cash flow or not?
Alhamdulillah, the cash flow is good. We've got about 17 million in terms of investments and different, Michigan class and some of the other investment vehicles. And then we have another 6-7 million in the bank. So the cash flow is
very good.
Cash flow is good. Revenues and expenses are almost, balanced. Like Max said, we would go over the expenses this year because we did a lot of alleys in the last budget, which the expenses came in later on. So, there will be an additional about $1 million of, alleys that we spent money on, which was not part of the original budget.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-27 approved.
Thank you. Next one is Resolution 2024-28, approving 3-year contract with VC3 for IT consulting and management services.
Motion? Second.
Mr. Mayor, this is the second time we have had Omar work on an RFP. You've seen him at the last meeting. He did the website, and now he's done our IT. We put this out to bid for an RFP. We had a whole lot of people download it, and we had about 11 companies of interest. We ended up going with the same company that we've had for, what year did we start?
Over 5 years, so 2019.
Come on up to the podium. So over 5 years we've had them, and we managed to keep them at just below the pricing we've had them for the last 5 years, due in part to the young man sitting in the audience back there, Brandon, that some of you have met recently, that installed these nice monitors and has been upkeeping some of the stuff around here. We're now doing what's called a co-managed contract with VC3. So because of having Brandon on staff, he's now managed to save us about 40 grand on this contract, and we've decided to keep VC3 on. So we humbly ask that you approve this, and we continue on and see how it goes.
Okay. Mr. Chair, we are saving $40,000
Yeah.
for this contract?
Yeah, they wanted to initially up it to, well, I'd say about 36,000, because they wanted originally at 116,000, was it? And we've drove it all the way down into 78,000. The spectrum was very, very vast on the bids on this. And frankly, it's very, very confusing on what everyone wanted to offer us on this. So we decided to stay with what we knew, which has been fairly good. And the combination of having Brandon on staff and what we know has been pretty good. And the pricing was right, so it's doing pretty well for us.
All right, thank you. So,
Any questions for me, let me know.
Okay, Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-28 approved.
thank you.
And I know we don't usually do this, Mr. Mayor, but I did get a public comment that wants to speak immediately. It's up to you if you want to suspend the rules and let him speak, or wait until the end of the meeting. I know.
I mean,
It's
is
a
it
councilman.
emergency?
All
Alright, we can do it.
Suspend the law.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to suspend the law.
Okay.
Okay, Usaid Al-Duais? He's right here. Okay, go ahead.
I was just trying to come and comment on the years for tax abatement on building new homes. I think it would encourage a lot of residents to build new homes, and I think it's a good idea. It will help for people to invest from the residents and the residents themselves, so I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why you have to suspend the law for this statement?
I know, I thought it was something different.
Yeah, it's gonna be wait.
I agree. But we can carry on, that's fine. Thank you, Brandon, I was going to ask you for that.
Okay, so. we vote?
Resolution D.
Yeah. Did we vote it already on the ITC?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Omar confused me. He he stood without talking. Where is he? So resolution D, resolution 2024-29, approving cancellation of the regular city council meeting scheduled for April 9, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion, or can we just go through the vote?
Vote.
Oh, thank you.
That would be because of the Eid, right?
It's the night before that, yeah. Councilman Sedman,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Musa. Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-29 approved.
Thank you. The next one is resolution 2024-30, approving the contract and grant with the Michigan Department of Transportation for the completion of sidewalks and alley repairs.
Motion. Second.
This one's an easy one, free money, 260 grand to do the alleys behind City Hall. I just need the permission to sign in and collect it.
That's from the state?
Yeah, yep, it's the grant.
Okay, that's-
I'm sorry, who motioned and who seconded? Okay, thank you.
Sorry. But,
Before we get into that, I just wanted to say, last week I was invited by EGO to participate in a panel discussion at Mount Pleasant for my first annual Michigan Rural Water Association. Because of the aggressive stance that the city, the mayor and council and our city manager has taken on replacing the lead service lines, they asked me to be part of the panel. So I went there with 4 other cities in front of about 150 other communities. And I basically called out the Hamtramck way. Basically let them know what I've been doing here, how we're implementing the lead service lines relating to our capital improvement plan. And was giving other communities examples of what we're doing, what to look for, what not to do. And they invited me back next year to probably present again. So we had a lot of good press there. And now this is 260,000 in free money, so nothing better than that.
So last year we applied for 5 million grant from the Department of Transportation. Was it rejected?
You need to be more specific.
When you got somebody
It
that applied for
was
it.
for the alleys, or, yeah, 5 million grants for the alleys.
So we have applied for so many grants at this point. I don't even know which one you're talking about, Mayor. We literally just got notified the other day about 2 we got, one of which was a green alley and lead service line, and we're not even sure exactly to what extent we got awarded yet. We just got a notification today of an award that I don't even know to what extent yet, so just stay tuned and we'll notify you soon. But within the past week, we got 3 more notifications, so.
Yeah, the one that the mayor's referring to, I believe, we were approved for something. There's 2 numbers they gave us, and we don't know the exact number yet, but, so, yeah.
We apply for these constantly for the city, so I mean, they're rolling in.
That's good. Any discussion?
No, sir.
Get ready, Charles.
All right, let's move.
Just 1 moment. Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Sedman,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-30 approved.
Thank you. Now, the next one is Resolution 2023-31, approving the purchase of structural
Matt?
firefighting gear.
Motion? Second.
Mr. Mayor, we have the chief here. You want to step up? Pretty short and sweet, though. Chief wants to purchase some gear. It's within his budget. He's here today for your approval because it's over the $10,000 threshold. He needs it. You want to just do a quick overview?
Yeah, this is the start of our gear replacement cycle. We have 26 firefighters. Everyone has 1 set of structural firefighting gear. Has a lifespan of 10 years. The gear we're replacing is approaching 8 years already. We have a cycle put in place where we will be able to replace everybody's gear short term or over the next several years to lessen the big expense to us. So this gear, for instance, is going to cost us $17,000. If we wanted to purchase for the entire department, it cost us $70,000. So we're trying to break this up over a span of a few years. We have the gentleman, or we have the gear already identified. All we're doing is waiting for your approval, and we'll place the order this week.
All right. Any questions for the chief? No, sir. All right, we go ahead and vote. Rana?
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Resolution 2024-31 approved.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. So the next one was removed. Tabled to the next week and so. Actually, it was pushed back to the planning commission. All right. So we move to H, resolution 2024-33, approving the purchase of mini split cooling unit for the DPS office area.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Mayor, I got John here on this one. If you remember last year, you guys told John to come back in preparation for the spring on this one. He's here a little bit early, but we wanted to get ahead of it because we collapsed 2 offices into this office, so we definitely are going to need to put this in. The windows have been replaced in there, the wall units have been removed, so that office is going to get hot. We do need to do this in preparation, so please approve this.
How much is it costing?
$13,000.
It's up to Councilman Sumeri here. All right, Councilman Hassan.
We have to let him off the hook for dinner.
13,000, we promised him to come back.
Yeah.
He came back, I'm okay.
Yeah, this is 2 units, not 1. So this is doing 2 units.
Let's get this one.
The 2 units, they're gonna pay the DBA and the income tax, or just only in your place?
My office and my adjoining office. So there'll be 2 heads, they call it.
Okay.
All right. We can vote?
Yes. One is busy.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-33 approved.
Okay.
Smile. Thank you. That's a lot better being hot. I'm telling you, I was worried there. Be wearing shorts to work if they didn't approve it.
Putting these windows back on the
The next one is resolution 2024-34, approving the purchase of 45 M17 SIG 9mm duty guns and 45 SIG and 400 mature rifles for the Hamtramck Police Department.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Mayor, I do have Lieutenant Cornwell here today. Unfortunately, Deputy Chief Molesky is out of town for the week, so Lieutenant Cornwell's filling in. The police department has not had new guns in over 20 years, so we are way overdue for this. Lieutenant Cornwell is intimately involved in the testing on these guns. This resolution, along with the next 2, are all forfeiture funds, nothing out of the general fund on this. Lieutenant Cornwell, do you want to explain this a little bit for us?
Well, as far as the firearms go, they're 22 years old. The industry standard's about 15 years lifespan on firearms before they have to be cycled out. The .40 caliber round is getting less and less popular in the public and in the law enforcement worlds. They're harder to find. The ammunition costs more. So the 9mm is the way to go, the way it's trending. These guns would be a complete package for our officers with a sight on them, holsters, their magazines, and anything else they would need. We would have to do some training with them as well. And then as far as the rifles go, the standard now is across the country is you have a patrol rifle for the violent situations that have been going on. And our officers, right now, there are only a few rifles available to the department. Most of the officers use their own. This would allow them each to have a rifle issued to them, and there would be a standard across the board continuity as far as, God forbid something happens, we have to share ammo and magazines and things like that. It would all be the same.
I do have a fun fact to add. Our incoming chief was here over the weekend, and he is aware of these because I discuss with him on a regular basis. We go back and forth, so he knows about these purchases, of course. And he did have the opportunity to go with Lieutenant Cornwell to the range yesterday. because we are prepping him for some upcoming training that he has to do in preparation of, getting the licensure. And we sent him home with some sore arms from long gun training, because frankly, New York does not do long gun training. So he is preparing for actually to have these long guns when he comes here. So I just thought it was kind of funny that he was training on these guns, well, in preparation for these.
So this fund's not coming from the general fund, right?
No. That is correct. These are all forfeiture funds.
Okay.
All right.
Can we test them when they come here?
That would be a chief call. You have to make the call to him.
Ready?
Make sure we can arrange day.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Sadman?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-34 approved.
All right, thank you. Resolution 2024-35, approving the purchase of 10 Motorola APX 6000 portable radios with accessories for the Hamtramck Police Department.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, again, I have Lieutenant Cornwell if you need any specific questions. These are the radios we use for the police department. We have a limited supply of these. As you know, we still are short on officers. These radios do break and go down. We do need to have more in supply. We are asking for another 10 to make sure we have an adequate supply. They are quite expensive, but they are also being paid out of forfeiture funds. So we're asking for 10. Pretty self-explanatory.
All right.
10-4.
For 48,000.
They're not cheap.
Is this coming from general fund also? No, sir.
All right, so that's close to 200,000 for the police department tonight. All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Councilman Sadman?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-35 approved.
Okay, thank you. The next one is Resolution 2024-36, approving the purchase of 4 new detective vehicles for the Hamtramck Police Department. Actually, there's more, not just the
Motion.
Talking about
The last one.
Who's second?
Can I get a-
Second.
All right, Mr. Mayor. All right, this one's a little more complex. I think I'm going to invite John up for this one because the next resolution is kind of tied into this one, and we're doing a lot of movement with these. So we're utilizing everything with this. So it's not only is the police department purchasing these, but we're utilizing the old ones as well. So we're purchasing 4 vehicles. The current narcotics vehicle is being shifted over. So we are utilizing the current vehicle to make it the chief's vehicle for the incoming chief. 3 new detective vehicles are going into service, which are very much so needed because frankly, they have reached their lifespan and then some, I would say, at this point. Dave, how old are they, probably?
I think the newest one is probably about 8 to 10 years old, and they're all forfeiture vehicles. None of them were purchased new.
Yeah,
So they're beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, which is fine for day-to-day bebopping around town for what John needs, but for police vehicles, not so much. So we are replacing.
Oh, somebody's hat.
Okay.
The guy who just left.
So we're replacing the 3 detectives vehicles with Equinoxes new, which will be good for detective vehicles, which obviously they need because, you can imagine what they may or may not encounter. Upgrading them, all out of forfeiture funds, so nothing out of the general fund. And then the 4 vehicles that are being decommissioned, one will go over to parking enforcement, which isn't really very high stress, so which will be fine. And then the other...
Because one's junk.
One's getting junked, I'm sorry. One's going junked altogether. And then the others are being traded over to code enforcement, which John will put into service into code. And then the follow-up resolution after this is John is requesting an Equinox for building department as well. And I'll let John elaborate on that a little bit, because currently we have 2 employees actually driving their own vehicles still, which we're trying to get away from because frankly, we don't want to pay for their mileage. So John, if you want to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, we have, it was nice I sat with Andy, went over what vehicles he was gonna be able to.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
are we allowed to discuss two separate resolutions at the
Well,
same
he's
time?
explaining
I know,
what's
but
happening with these.
I think
Yeah, that's a different
What is he
resolution.
doing? He's
We're
explaining these.
explaining
and
where
he's-
all these cars are ending up.
and how he's
Alright,
gonna
well,
want
just
the
say
next.
whatever is gonna happen for the next one, and just talk about this one right now.
Well, it's the dissemination of these cars, what's happening from the purchase of these vehicles.
I know, but it could be, he could discuss.
No, he can talk about it. If that's the case, then he can talk about it.
Basically, we're gonna get rid of some of our DV cars we don't need. They're gonna go to the building department, which would be your next resolution to discuss.
Right.
They're tied.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. He can say.
Not,
Just like we always tie other resolutions together. I don't see it as an issue at all.
All right, let's vote for the first resolution.
okay, yeah, that's better. That's better.
All right.
And, thank you. Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Sadman,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
and Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-36 approved. And now, because of these purchase of these new vehicles, this next resolution,
All right, so the next one
it's a
is
better flow.
Resolution 37, approving the purchase
Makes
of
sense.
one utility vehicle for the building department.
All right, John.
Motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
So currently, code has 4 vehicles. And then with the police department sending over 2 more, one going to parking, 2 more going to code, we'll have 6 vehicles available. We have 3 full-time people with code, so they need an independent vehicle. And actually, one of those employees would be sharing that vehicle with Brandon, who runs the our IT stuff. We have 8 part-time employees left. So the problem I have is with the building inspector, who's with the city now. He's a 5-day employee on the road 6 hours a day. He needs a dedicated vehicle to do the building inspections. I can't afford to pull one that the part-timers are using because we have so many part-time people about to start. Some of them are not here yet. That's why you may see a vehicle in the back or 2. Plus Brandon's been working in the city hall, out and not on the road, so that's why a couple vehicles have been floating around right now. But for the building inspector to just rely on, hopefully there's a vehicle here, is impossible because he's on the road so much. So that vehicle is basically out of commission. So with now having the building department in-house, we need one vehicle dedicated strictly for him. And that would still allow the 6 vehicles to stay with code, 3 of them with full-time employees, and 3 remaining vehicles shared amongst 8 other people. So we were stretching them as far as we could stretch, even with alternate schedules and times and days off and whatnot.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman Rafai.
John, how many employees do we have at the coal department?
Well, we got 2 in queue right now, so we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. We will have 11 in
So,
code.
11. And how many vehicles do we have right now?
We have 4, we're gonna gain 2 from police.
Why 2? There's 4.
One is getting destroyed.
Oh, one of them is going.
And one's going to parking enforcement.
And now my question is, how many part-timers are around the city on the same time with these full-timers?
Well, they're all here usually on Tuesdays, so I did a little spreadsheet to kind of see where there was some overlap. And Evie, with some of the days where there's possibly a vehicle, I know it's gonna be needed by 4 people that are sharing the same vehicle. There's possibly gonna be a day here or a day here where there's a vehicle laying around where they can hop in. They do come in, and try to split the shifts, but that's still a lot of people to share that type of vehicles, So trying to give it to a building inspector that's out on the road 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, to pull a vehicle out is gonna make code almost impossible. That's why I've asked for the new vehicle to go to building, so one, it could be professionally lettered, put building department on it, people know the building inspector is pulling up to their house and whatnot, and leave the other vehicles to code, because they're in and out of the alleys a lot more. So the older vehicles would be better, because they're hitting potholes or running in long trees or garbage cans or whatnot. And then the newer vehicle will be more something that we keep out in the front.
So is any of these vehicles are driven outside the city?
No, these are all in-city vehicles.
Even the inspector, correct?
Correct.
Well, nobody use it outside in the city?
Not on this, no. No.
That's a good question, Dan. But you are able to manage with this vehicle and the employee previous years. Why do you all of a sudden need all this?
No, we're picking up a lot, many more employees for code.
So don't forget.
This is becoming a pain in the butt for us because people left and right, everybody asking why I'm getting ticket and warning for everything.
Well, we're hoping that with all these, we'll find the good ones that want to continue to move on, and some I think have aspirations.
Councilman, don't forget, we collapsed McKenna into us, so we picked up our building department again. So we used to have a separate building department that we contracted, and now we have our own building department again.
And the group, one of the best advantages of that is I'm teaching the code. We took Anthony out today, is how to do some of the rental inspections to keep that activity away from the building inspector, because we only have one building inspector, and that allows him to do what's required by law, just the building inspections, instead of using his time doing rental inspections, or we're not required to have a building inspector do rental inspections. We can use our code department for that.
And
So it's really a cost savings.
Too. So we're not having necessarily a separate building and a separate code. We're having everybody do everything now. So our building officials are also doing code and vice versa. So everybody is in the same group of people now.
Also another quick question, if people utilizing their own vehicle, I'm sorry, it's my voice is down. If they're using their own vehicle and if you're paying them what is called the mileage, what's the big difference?
It's expensive. 67 cents a mile. It's averaging about $200 a pay period to that employee. So the vehicles I was looking at was 30-some thousand. Luckily, Andy found some with Chevy, and they found some for 26,000, which I'm like, oh wow, that's. The building inspector just needs to get from point A to point B. This is great, saved $10,000. So he did a better job finding vehicles than I could. So I was quite thankful for that.
Those vehicles will be drivable for snowy day? When the snow happens?
They're all-wheel drive, the one that Andy found, so that's great. Yeah, they'll work just fine.
All right, let's go.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman El Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-37 approved.
Thank you. Next one is Resolution 2024-38, authorization to enter an agreement for the development and sale of 2237 Andrews, 2471 Faber, and 11332 Lumpkin to Dorota Maturania and Andrew Cutlaris.
Motion?
Second.
Good evening. I have Austin here to talk about it today.
Good evening. I come for a resolution to sell 3 of the city's lots that we currently are holding on to. This is part of our residential lot sale. So the developers have come requesting 3 of the lots. This project aligns with the city's goals of revitalization and increasing demand for housing in the community. Part of the sale will be the development and completion of housing units. The developers are looking to purchase 3 lots, and on each lot they're proposing to build 2-unit duplexes for each of those. This will benefit the city in the sale of the property itself, going towards the city's general fund. Also putting these lots onto the tax roll, so we'll have additional tax revenue. And also it takes responsibility of caring for the lots with the property maintenance goes off the city and on to the developers.
All right, thank you. 10,000 each, so that's 30,000.
30,000.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman.
So I want to clear to the residents, some of the residents question me, why only these guy get these 3 lots. It is not intentionally. It was bid, it was the open for sale. Still we have some more for sale, $10,000. If anybody want to buy, come and buy. Don't complain, please. Who buying what? So it is open for everybody.
Yes.
And anybody in the community is more than welcome to call the Community Economic Development Department to see which properties are available. And also for properties that have already gotten a application, we do take secondary applications in case that one falls through, then we contact that second applicant.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, if I may add to, Austin and I just had a meeting with the State Land Bank and the Wayne County Land Bank yesterday as well. They also have properties in our city that they're trying to sell as well. They'll enter into agreements with developers as well to get rid of properties. So we're going to try and list what they have on our website, which just adds for people to pick up just like ours. So
Please don't give that phone number to the one of the councilmen.
we're not going to add to the estate. The empire.
Time frame to build this?
2 years, with
2 years.
additional 1 year if needed.
Yes. Yeah, there is a $5,000 performance bond that requires that the individual completes the property within 2 to 3 years. If not, the performance bond is kept, is not returned to the applicant, and also the city can attempt to take the property back if there's no action on trying to actually develop it into housing units.
All right, thank you. Vote.
Councilman Al-Samiri.
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud.
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Councilman Sedman.
Yes.
Councilman Musa.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-38 approved.
Thank you. Next one is Resolution 39, approving award of the 2023 lead service line replacement program.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I have both John and Charles from Tennessee here to speak on this one.
Yep. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we put this one out for bid, and we got a contractor to bid within the range of the grant that that's going to cover this work. We're looking for approximately $1.5 million to be approved, and part of that $1.5 million was already approved for Hennessy Services, which came out to $172,500, which was approved back in August of 2023 to develop the plans for this. So it went out to bid. We got the lowest bidder we could. One bidder was extremely low, and he backed up out of it. He had a bid of $850,000, and he backed out. He knew that he left too much on the table. He made a mistake in his calculation. So we're asking that this be approved so that we can continue with this program.
All right, any questions?
No, sir. Here we're gonna finish the south guys,
Which yard?
the phase 1.
Phase 1 of,
Woodson?
No, the all phase 1. They start many blocks over there, but if you finish the whole phase 1, it's gonna be.
yeah, we'll be done with that. We are currently, we have one more block left to do for phase 1 of the original program that we started. But I gave John a list of things that we have coming for Hamtramck this year, starting roughly around mid-April. We have about 10 projects. Most of them are water main, the 1B relief sewer program that we're gonna do. So we've got a lot of work. We're looking at about 15 to 20 million that we've gotten grant money to do all these programs. So we're gonna be very busy renewing these. We approximate about 1,700 lead services will change out this year.
Got a lot of streets. We got 2 pages of projects that are about to start. There's gonna be a lot of phone calls.
That's why you also go on vacation this summer.
Right.
They're not complaining again a year.
All right. We can vote.
Yes. Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri.
Yes.
Councilman Sedman.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Councilman Musa.
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2024-39 approved.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
This one is for discussion, which zone should be included for a public hearing regarding piloting NEZ zones in the city of Hamtramck.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I have Austin from CED to give us a brief overview on this. Councilman Rafai is very interested in this topic and has been working very closely with our CED department on this. I believe it's up to 15% of our community can be selected for this and up to 15 years. Obviously, we have an interest to do the zones that have the most amount of vacant property and interest, and I think the most amount of years would make the most sense. Austin, if you can give us an overview?
Sure, no problem. Are we going to be able to?
Oh, sure, yep. Thanks to our in-house IT person, I got it working. Well, he got it working.
So the Neighborhood Enterprise Zone program, also known as NEZ, is one of many tools we can use to incentivize development, but also help developers when it comes to capping their taxes and getting help when it comes to their taxes if they're looking to develop a new home or if they're looking to rehabilitate an existing home. So there are 3 different types of NEZ certifications. The first is a new facility. As you may perceive it, it is defined as a new structure, a portion of a new structure that has its primary purpose of residential housing consisting of 1 or 2 units, one of which will be owner-occupied as a principal residence. So this is required that the home is owner-occupied, or if it's multi-unit, one of the units is owner-occupied. Rehabilitated facility consisting of a structure with a current true value of $120,000 or less, or if it's multi-unit, each of those units are $120,000 or less, up to 8 units, and one of the units must be owner-occupied.
Are we on a page? Or are you?
Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Yep. The new enterprise program allows for the tax abatement for up to 15 years in designated zones throughout the city. For a zone to be developed, it has to have 10 contiguous parcels. And as Max said, you can only go up to 15% of your total acreage within the city. One of the most important aspects of this program is that developers and owners must seek this certification, the certificate, before they submit or issue a building permit. So this is a process that would be done at the local level, working with the city clerk, and going to the state for final review. But that request and that application must be submitted before the building permit is actually issued to a developer. So to have an NEZ zone established, it requires the governing body of a government unit, as yourself, to create a resolution to designate 1 or more NEZ zones throughout their government unit. A written notice must be provided to the assessing department of the city and the governing body of each taxpaying unit not less than 60 days before passing the resolution designating each of the NEZ zones. The governing body makes a finding that the proposed NEZ is consistent with the master plan, neighborhood preservation, and economic development goals of the local government. That last part is really important. It's what we are looking for as a community while we're going forward. That's how we should evaluate each of the NEZ zones for additional housing. Right. The government body will adopt a statement of those government goals and objectives to be included for the total package that goes along to the state. The governing body passes a housing inspection ordinance. We already do have housing standards on ordinances in the city, but this must be done before the sale of any units so that we can confirm that each of these units, either newly built or rehabilitated, are brought to a standard that we want our residents to live in. The governing body must hold a public hearing not later than 45 days after the date of the notice is sent out before acting upon that resolution. The assessor determines and furnishes the governing body with the amount of true cash value of the property located in each of these zones. So each of the zones will be looked at to see what the true cash value is by itself, but then also total throughout the city, what is the total cash value. The city clerk then notifies the state tax commission of the resolution passage, including a copy of each parcel listed in that NEZ with specific indicators of each of those zones or properties within the zone. So what is the process on the owner and the developer side? Again, the owner must file the NEZ application before a building permit is issued. So before they go to the building department, they need to go to the clerk's office and visit her and submit that application. Because after a building permit is issued, it's nearly impossible to then get that NEZ certification. So the application is submitted to the city, which is then reviewed. The governing body will take a look at it, and then it is then passed along to the state for final approval. So the exemption timeline, it will be based on criteria developed by the city. For new and rehabilitated cities or facilities, they can go from 6 years up to 15 years for that abatement. During the last 3 years of the exemption, the value is no longer frozen, and then it incrementally increases to what it will be at that final year of what the taxes are after the exemption expires. So choosing these locations. So where are we going to look in the city to actually create these NEZ zones? What parts of the city are going to be included, and why should these parts of the city be included? That is the goal, and it should be based on development and revitalization. Part of viewing the appropriate locations includes looking at a vacancy map. As you can see here, the CED in assessing department created this GIS map. The green parcels are where we have vacant property. Either it's owned by the city or it's owned in private hands. This is where new facilities, new homes can be built that could qualify. As you can see in the northwest city part of the city, there's a significant portion, as well as in the eastern part and both the southern and eastern part of the city is where the majority of the vacant parcels for development currently lie. Ron? Yes. Thank you. These are the 6 zones that are being proposed to the council. As we said, we cannot exceed 15% of the total acreage. And right now, we are under that 15%. And the exact calculations will be determined once we and the council decide which of the parcels are going to be included in that total 15% acreage.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Is that, all those boxes are highlighted, are that considered 15%?
As of right now, that is close to 15%. We're very close.
Every boxes that's on there?
Not total.
Oh.
Yeah.
So based on what did you pick these areas? Do they have the most vacant?
Yeah, if you go back, Rana, one slide, if you don't mind, thank you. You can see here where are the vacant lots.
Okay.
So in green, there's also Veterans Park on there, but the green is where there are lots that are in private hands. Private developers currently own them, or the city owns them themselves, which we are currently trying to sell.
Okay. All right. So we are not voting on this one. What's the next step now?
Mr. Chair.
Discussion.
Yes.
Okay, so only one thing I see, if assessor discriminate zone to zone, and the opportunity to the pricing, you know, that is only the things I'm thinking, because this is the good program, no issue at all, and it is also included somebody have a 1 unit, they can make the 2 more units.
Is it one of them where if it was owner occupied, one of the units, that would be possible?
It's gonna fall into this program too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Second thing, let's say I have a big family. You saying only 1 unit I can have only. I want a 2 unit for myself, owner occupied.
So if it's multi-unit, if it's, let's say, an 8-unit complex?
I want to give the points, that's all. So for my colleagues, I agree with you. So, Mr. Mayor, when we bring the resolution, I want a little modify over there. Not only 1 unit for the owner, it could be 1 or more, depends on family size. So there is I had a 5 sons. Me, my wife, 1 unit not gonna be enough for me. So that case I build 3 unit, I keep 2 unit as a owner occupied, and 1 I can pay the tax as a rental. So those kinds of discussion, we have to be clear and bring here. Manager looking at me, oh, he's losing revenue, 1 unit, what can I do? So it's okay, those kinds of discussion, and good idea, Max, and who took the initiative this one start from the beginning, from the day one?
It's a combination.
You, Khalil, and Austin?
We had been looking at it in council actually, before Councilman Rafai did bring it to us, some other councilmen did mention it in the past, and then we were also looking at it as well.
I know, but anyway, it's a good discussion, I want to appreciate.
Most recently, Councilman Rafai had been pushing us on it, but some of our internals had, staff had been also working on it as well, so, but it's kind of a group effort.
Mr. Mayor, can I request something? Maybe create a subcommittee before we bring the resolution with few peoples and then finalize instead of getting too much details today.
So the normal process, what is the next step in this? To prepare a resolution or hearing?
We would prepare a resolution based upon what council would want us to do as far as zones go and the amount of time, and then you basically would bless it, and then we would set up a zone. And then the zone would be created, and then developers would then have the ability to petition the state for their tax abatement. They would then have to, I think, do they have to come before us again for each one?
Yes.
Yeah. Just like any of the businesses do at that point.
So here is the thing, we're going to make some kinds of, like I agree with the Councilman Mahmoud, maybe for a specific this program, set aside the subcommittee, they will prepare some idea, bring to their, of course, has to be by attorney, complete the whole resolution, nobody else. Okay, so if we have any idea, anything, we're going to bring to city manager and attorney discuss, find out the law and everything cover, then bring to us, and then it's going to be resolution.
Okay, if you guys want to form a subcommittee, I think you can be with Councilman Mohit and Councilman Rafai to finalize this resolution.
Anybody want to go? I don't want to go right now, I don't have time.
Can I break it fast, Mr. Mayor? Can I break suspension?
I think whoever have time, just communicate with the city manager with ideas that you have, and because I think everyone is busy, so I don't want to make anyone commit to anything that they can.
That means nobody's gonna come through.
Is it iftar now?
That means you gave them the paper all.
Can you give us 5 minutes?
We can suspend the law for 5 minutes.
Well, you know what, we're done and we're going to close session.
No.
There's no public comment.
There's one more discussion, there's
There's one more.
Oh, yes.
We can
Yes.
For 5 minutes.
Okay. We can.
So are we done with this?
All right. So we will follow up on this one.
Did you guys want to break for a minute?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
I need to pray too.
Okay.
5 minutes.
we got food.
Mr. Chair, we'd like to suspend the law for 5 minutes, then we'll come back.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What'd you guys decide on the discussion for Are we doing a subcommittee or no?
It looks like they're busy, so whoever comes up with an idea, they will communicate with you.
Figure it out.
We are live, by the way.
All right.
So yeah, so they will move forward by coordinating with you. To the next step.
So I think right now we have the discussion regarding
The vacant lot.
the vacant lots.
How they remove.
So Councilman mentioned that he was considering.
We need a,
Sorry.
Second.
we need a motion.
Motion.
Thank
To
you.
open discussion in a second.
Second.
So Councilman was saying that he wanted to potentially change it to just vacant buildings instead of vacant lots, was his suggestion, and he wanted to discuss that with the council.
So that's the one with the gradual increase in.
Yeah, so the vacant lot, he just, instead of having the ordinance apply to all vacant properties, have it just be the buildings instead of the.
Wanted to remove the lots.
Yeah, I think that's what.
That's my point too. That's why I have to make subcommittee maybe and get all the ideas together and write it out and show it to you and then.
Whatever you guys decide on, you let me know, I'll draft it.
Yeah, yes, we need from the ordinance to remove the old vacant lot and leave the building vacant.
I mean, we can
do that.
We can just remove the lots. I
But
mean,
that's what you guys
we
want.
still gotta bring another resolution back for the last one we just pulled off the agenda. We have the other one, that big one we've been working on to fix the one for the parking. I mean, we have a whole slew of ordinance revisions we gotta do.
That's what I want.
So I'll just bring that next time, and then we'll vote on it. So pause, I mean,
Yeah,
just.
so when, you know, remember last time when some residents came, a lot of them owns empty lots, and at that time I said, I thought we targeted the buildings, not the lots. So, yeah, so just, I think it's
That's right.
reasonable. You know, citizens have the right to own properties and just leave them there.
I'll draft it and I'll provide it to Max to put it for the next.
A lot of people, they save the property, vacant lot.
We
They
owe you
save
guys
for
a
the future,
bunch of
they gonna
ordinance
build a new
revisions
house.
anyway, so.
Yeah.
Or some
It's the end of the day.
Yes.
Just being.
Because the lots that we sell, we put terms on those, you know, you have to develop at a certain time, but if they own their own lots, you know, we can't force them to develop it. Maybe they can't afford, you know, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 to build it.
Yes.
All right, so we agree on that one, and I think we come up to the end now, and we move to the report. And I start with mine. I don't have much to say. I just want to say happy Ramadan to everyone. We're almost halfway, right?
Yep. Over.
Yeah, we had good community dinner yesterday in Islamic City of Hamtramck with the city elected officials and staff and police and firemen. So it was good, good way to bring the community together and, you know, bridge the gap between the government and the community. So I encourage those kinds of events, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Masjid Ali's administration for taking the initiative to organize this event. We also attended iftar dinner last week in Auckland International School. It was also for the same purpose. It was good. And another event in Masjid Mu'ad, we had an event with, we saw some elected officials, some city staff there. It was a good event too. So we've been going around for iftar dinner and all these religious facilities and schools, which is good to, you know, come together with the community. I also attended a couple of events in Dearborn. Dearborn events, they break the fast at 8 to 7. That's too late.
We gotta
I
make
was
sure
there
it's dark.
2
Yeah.
days ago. I was there. I was invited by
It's like 15 minutes after the sunset.
by As'ad Turfi, you know, the chief executive of Wayne County. And then I was looking at the clock, and they were waiting. They break their fast 15 minutes after us. So
Oh, wow.
it depends on the, which religious sect you belong to. But I'm used to break it, at 7:50. So I had to wait an extra 15 minutes.
So, Mr. Mayor, sorry to cut you off. How come we don't actually break her fast with us now?
Oh,
Should have waited 15 minutes.
When I was there, I
There's
had,
Sunni and Shia.
I had to-
consider myself sushi.
well, I had to follow their rules over there, so she has to follow our rules here. Yeah. So, we're enjoying Ramadan, we work normal hours, just like any other month. But it's a good way to experience, do some diet, that I lost like 7 pounds since the beginning of Ramadan. So.
I don't know about that. Head into events.
Yeah. So that's all for me, and I want to thank you all for coming today, and I thank whoever ordered the food for us today.
Omar got it for us.
All right. So that's it for the mayor. We have the mayor pro tem report.
Good evening, Ramadan Kareem, happy Ramadan. Especially people of Hamtramck, they can shopping from now with no meters. In Hajjasakam, am I right?
No,
next week, from
start
Monday.
next week.
With 10
April
days
1st.
or 15 days?
From Monday.
April 1st to April 11th.
So April 1st, people can enjoy their parking. They do not have to pay the money there, or no violation or no ticket there. So you can shopping there in Josakampu. And people all over the world, they are celebrating Ramadan, and we are there. It's the first meeting, council meeting in Ramadan, and we hope we don't get anything before Eid, any more council meeting. We suspend one meeting there. I take Mr. Chair, city manager, I hope Attorney will be there. I'm a little bit discussing something a little bit behind. I have a group of people, almost whole community is there. Those maybe 10 people is there, but each and every single people is the community leader. They are the president, secretary, some of the big organization. Those people come into here to guess for the justice. They don't know what's going on there. They thought we are hiding this justice or we are doing something there. So it is really, really embarrassing for us, and very bad example is setting from the city of Hamtramck. The city of Hamtramck, friendly environment for the business people and the community people. People come in here, incident could happen. Mr. Mayor could punch me, or I could hit somebody else, but it doesn't mean this case drop off. And now is a lot of chaos going on in the whole community. People heard something different way. People thought maybe we are playing behind of the scene. I hope none of the councilmen is around there. And at a time, I was not in the United States. I was out of state. I'm in Bangladesh also. I feel when I come back, I heard this happen. Really, really unacceptable. And something happened. Police arrest 2 people. One people they sent him to the hospital by the ambulance. I heard it, whatever. I heard the community, and one people they put the custody. Justice for each and every one. So we do not want somebody wrong interpretation to put the community. So I heard it, and I want the justice for each, fair and equal for everybody. So why should I blame somebody else? And why should somebody get the blood and the whole face is there? So next time somebody say I can do something better than this, and I don't need to get the punishment, or I don't need to face the judgment or justice. Mr. Attorney is here. People are not there at this moment. I like to know. Can you tell us something? I don't have to argue in front of the people. What's going on this case for these people? Whole community coming to the front of the city hall now. Now they had a plan. I heard some city manager. If they do not find some solution there, they call Channel 7, Channel 4, and they're going to demonstrate in whole city hall. How are we going to feel at this time? Is a Muslim majority community, Muslim majority council? We are treating the people and we are bringing the justice like that? What's going on? Can you tell us something?
So both members that were involved in the fight have been, as we said, we've referred it to the Wayne County. So we're just waiting on Wayne County to make a decision. And as I said before, they're just extremely backed up. And I know, I mean, in the past, I've had to put pressure on them to try to hurry up, and I've had no success whatsoever. And in this case, have a little bit more clout because it's coming from the city, the police, and yet they're still taking their time. So I don't know how to speed them up. I mean, it's just in their hands, and we have to wait to see what they decide. And at that point, we can react. But it's completely in Wayne County's hands. That's the process. And if it was a different county, you might have already gotten an answer. But because it's Wayne County, I mean, it is a known issue that they have.
I hope it's the end. But we feel the tense from the community. We heard a lot of humor of this. If a big incident happen, then going to be Wayne County, or we're going to woke up?
I mean, they will have to politically answer for that, but they've had far more politically charged cases that have taken a long time before us. So I don't know.
If I'm the guilty person, punish me. At least we have some example there.
I wish I could give you, I think that I probably can't give you this example, but I could say actually that in the past I've had a situation where somebody was a criminal and was committing ongoing fraud against my client. Okay, it wasn't stopped. It didn't happen in the past. It was continuing. Lots of money I'm talking about being taken through fraud. And yet, even though we had filed numerous police reports, had called the detectives, called Wayne County, had gone there 10 times, it still didn't matter. And I think it's been over a year, and even now, they still haven't made a decision. So there are cases that are taking so long to, and even if it's an active situation.
Interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you whatever I heard. Mr. City Manager was there. Those people not stop there. They're going to come in, they're going to get their demonstration, they're going to sue the, we don't want to explanation.
I would send them then to Kim Worthy's office, Wayne County prosecutor, have them go there to put pressure on them if that's because we have no control, we have no power.
Councilman, I've advised them that, I mean, we've done everything at this point. I mean, we've taken their statements, we've crossed our T's, dotted our I's, and we've sent it to the prosecutor's office. I've even advised the deputy chief to call the prosecutor's office and explain to them of the politically charged nature of this incident, and he's done that, and he's got the prosecutor that's allegedly supposed to be handling this on the phone and explained just that, and their response to us was, okay, thank you. So, I mean, we can't force them to do anything beyond this. I've explained to them before and again in the hallway now that if they want to apply pressure to anyone, it is to the prosecutor's office. I sat in the hallway just now and I pointed to everyone in the hallway and said, well, have you called, have you called, have you called, have you called, have you called? And all of them said no. I said, well, then maybe every one of you should call the prosecutor's office and ask, well, why is nothing happening? It's pointless for you to go out in front of City Hall because there is nothing we can do. We're not making that decision for you. We have done everything we can do here at City Hall. Everything that we can do, we have done for you. We have taken the case and sent it to the prosecutor's office on your behalf. We cannot force the prosecutor's office to do anything for you.
The prosecutor's office is located at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. It's downtown on, can't remember the road, but Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. That's where the prosecutor's office would be. And that's where you should direct any complaints.
I mean, I understand it's frustrating. I mean, I understand they want to target their frustrations at City Hall and at the police department, but I mean, the police department took their information, took their witness statements, and to be honest with you, in my opinion, went above and beyond because, I mean, personally, I was involved in this to sit in my office and hear them out and guide them as far as, this is what you need to do if you want to proceed with this, if you want to prepare statements and send it in, and give them, proper guidance on what they should do, and whatnot. And, frankly, the amount of police service that they received for a case of this nature is far disproportionate. They've got far more police service than anyone else would have received at this point for cases far superior to this. They just have, and I don't know what else the police department could do at this point. I mean, if they were to protest out front at this point, it would kind of be a travesty at this point for the amount of services they were actually provided for this. You know, I feel bad that the prosecutor's office is taking that long, but it's not our fault. You know, I mean, if they want to turn up the heat with the prosecutor's office, that is where their frustration should be directed. It's not here. We've done, the police department has done what they were supposed to do, 100%.
All right, so, thank you, Mr. Mayor Protem. You just, you know, direct them to follow up with the prosecutor and keep it going. City Council, anyone?
Mr. Chair.
Councilman Kai?
I want to thank everybody here today, you know, especially residents who showed up today. That shows you how important and how many people are complaining from increase of taxes. So hopefully we will try to solve this issue in the city, in our assessor department, because it's going crazy with these prices. As you guys purchased a house, now you know how residents are feeling.
I feel
so, and something needs to be done. So hopefully all of us here as a team try to work together and try to solve this issue. Have a good night and be safe.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I just want to say thank you to Islamic Center yesterday. They did a great job of organizing this, such a great iftar event. Very nice and peaceful and great food. Thank you, Sheikh Yasir and his team for this such a good organizing iftar party. And I just want to say Eid Mubarak to everyone. I know this is the last meeting before Eid, and that's it. And now for us to utilize the free parking and do local shopping and support our local businesses. And I agree with Councilman Rafa. We have to find the ways to do something about the tax, because people are complaining left and right. I mean, it goes both ways. Some people just complain because they want to complain, but other than that, a lot of people are getting affected. You know, we need to find those middle-income families, how can we support them in our community.
All right.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Chair.
Councilman Hassan.
Okay, just I'm going to say a couple of things by the reference. The discussion was today about the public comment and us. We have a 7 council elected official. If every person we take every single one couple of minutes or 5 minutes, it takes over 1 hour. So that's why previous practice what we did. Public can speak as a chair who is the mayor. Mayor will take the question, forward to the, if it's Mr. Manager, can you offline and talk to him or her, or Mr. Police Chief or Mr. Clerk, can you take this one offline to talk to her, please? Then, again, that's why we can save our time, and when our individual speak, then we can refer us back to there. The person said this, I want to say that, like the example. If not, it's going to be 2-3 hours crazy back and forth conversation. That's why previous practice, only chair take over the question and refer to the accordingly to the department. That's all my previous practice.
All right.
Yes.
Councilman Sumaya.
Yeah, thank you. خواتم مباركة إن شاء الله عيد مبارك يعني next meeting, and we take like iftar from National Academy, Auckland National Academy last week, and Masjid Mu'ad, and Sunday we go the Islamic Jama Ali, and I'm happy to see the whole community. They came to mention for the tax exemption. We're working for this case almost 2 years after. When the box he make benefit tax break, we spoke for the one how he gonna help the resident for the new houses. Almost 2 years, not from now. And the parking meter, they're gonna start parking free from Monday, this coming Monday, till Eid al-Iftar. And thank you for everyone.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councilman.
I'd like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. I'd also thank Islamic Center Hamtramck to invite us yesterday for the iftar. I see like many people are complaining about the property tax. I would recommend like if you can arrange a seminar with our assessor so that he can explain to a resident like how assessing work, like why the taxes are going up in the city. So if we can arrange something in the future so that we can invite all the residents of the city to come and like assessor can explain them what's going on. And I'm concerned about the incident that happened in the 21st February, I think. I want like justice should be served to them. The main thing, like the beginning of this trend started from our city hall event in the front, so that they want us to like play a vital role to, so that victim get the justice. So I also want request attorney, so do as much as you can do, or email the prosecutor office for a quick update.
I will.
Thank you. Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you.
Let's find out.
All right, do we have a report for the controller?
Yep.
You do?
Gotta get it going.
It's the same monthly report. It was for the month of February. And basically, do you have it?
Yes.
It's basically the,
The revenue and
revenue and
expenditure.
expenditure report and the overtime report. So if anybody has a question on it.
Not today, maybe.
Next time.
Good day to pick.
We gotta go eat.
Yeah, so I don't have any question.
Thank you.
Well, we did have you for the budget amendment, so.
We do have a closed session, but we can push it.
Okay, please.
No problem. I'll send an email with a couple of brief updates, but it's nothing that needs to be decided on or anything like that, so we can push it.
No public comments?
Nobody's here.
I guess me. To adjourn.
I don't know, sometimes council members
Yes.
are public comments.
Next time, I'm gonna make one day like one.
Thank you. See you after.
I need a
Mr.
motion.
Electrician.
Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn the meeting, please.
All right.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you.
All right.
It is 8:28.
10:28. It's raining outside, and I'm gonna get in the car.
Oh, is it raining?
Oh, it's been raining.